All right, welcome to the third section of the unit. We're starting to now start looking at functions, which is going to get us into looking at lines, looking at the equations of lines, how to plot them, how to find points on lines, etc. And so this section is all about functions, tables, and graphs. So you're going to be looking at these functions. This is a function. And you're going to be looking at the tables and graphs to be able to find the output of a function. So a function, notice that y is equal to whatever this ends up becoming. Okay? So earlier in the year when we were doing evaluate this equation, you would plug in a number for x and it would give you a number. Well, that number would here be y. So you're doing the same thing that you did earlier this year. The only difference is we didn't have a variable set to an equation. Okay? We didn't have a full function. Okay? But you're going to be doing the exact same thing. There's no difference. So looking at this table, you're going to put in x into 4x minus 2, and it's going to give you y, which is the output. So the input for this one is -1. So you have -4 times, replace x with -1, minus 2. Well, 4 times -1 is -4, minus 2 is going to make it further away from 0, so -6. So that's where the -6 comes in. Then, looking at the second one, you've got 0. So whenever x is 0, you would plug it in. So 4 times 0 minus 2. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. Minus 2 is -2. And that's where the -2 comes in. And then the last one, if x is 3, then you would plug in for x. 4 times 3 minus 2. So 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 2 is going to be 10. So 10, that's why 10 is our answer. So all you're doing is replacing the x with whatever the input is, using your order of operations, and getting your output, which is y. Okay? So let's look at this one. Number 2. So y is equal to 6x squared. Okay? The only thing being squared here is the x. So you're plugging in x here, squaring it, and then multiplying it by 6. So looking here, you've got x, you're squaring the x, and then that would give you the output. Okay? So looking at it, you've got -5. Okay? So -5 squared times 6. Well, -5 squared, -5 times -5 is going to be 25. 25 times 6, well, there's 4 quarters in a dollar, leaving me with 2. That would be 150. Then when x is 0, 0 squared is still 0. 0 times 6 is still 0. So therefore your output is 0. And then 5, you do 5 squared, 2. So 5 times 5 is going to give me 25. Times 6 is still the same up here, so 150 again. It's okay that we got the same answer. All right? So this is how you do it. You take x, plug it in for it, you follow your order of operations, it's going to give you your y, or your output. Okay? So work out the practice problems, come in tomorrow with any questions you might have, and I'll try and address those tomorrow.